lean more into, if you're a believer, lean more, when you understand how much you have been loved, I don't think you would want to hate yourself.
Right.
I don't think you would want to hate someone who was died for. Like you are to die for. Quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. Someone was nailed on a cross for you. And like when you understand that kind of love and how it was not just an act. God was not doing things for show.
That's true.
You know? It was not for show. It was not for show. So really lean into that. Really lean into that. When you lean into that, you get more comfortable with yourself and you get in a space where you're even more comfortable to give grace to other people as you give grace to yourself. Yes.
So, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for always tuning in. My name is Zach, and I'm here courtesy of Talk Active Minds. I'm your host with the most, and today I'm privileged to have Madam Charlene MUTHONI Wambua on our podcast, and she's going to take us through relationships. And just to add a bit of context, we've been friends for 7+ years right now. And you know what they say about 7+ years kind of relationships? It means the high probability is that they last forever. So, welcome, Madam Charlene, and good to have you.
Thank you for having me. Like how you take words out of my mouth. Yeah.
Yes, so welcome. So, kindly introduce yourself and tell the world what you do.
My name is Charlene MUTHONI Wambua. Should I be looking at the camera?
You can look at the host the most.
My name.
Yeah, welcome on board.
My name is Charlene.
It's always a light moment.
Yeah. My name is Charlene MUTHONI Wambua.
Yes.
I love to write.
Yes.
I love to write specifically about romance, love and romance.
Yes.
I'm getting into a place where I feel like I want to describe myself less and less while including what I do for work.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, yeah. That also creates a space where I'm like, okay, how else do I describe myself without saying what I do for work? So, yeah. I'm shifting careers right now.
Okay.
I'm getting into interior design. Yeah, I've always wanted to do interior design for some reason. And when the opportunity brought itself for me to do interior design, I went for it somehow. And for some reason, I went for it almost blindly at first. And then I realized, this is like something I was praying about like a couple years back. And now it's coming true. I was like, yes, God. Yes, let's do this.
So, from which industry are you shifting careers from?
Jess, we're in the same space. Just fashion information science. And then now into, I worked in Jess for like 4 years-ish. And then now I'm shifting into interior design. Yes.
Interestingly, over the years, I've observed you, and you've been a person who has always been themselves in one or the other. Of course, there's more than what meets the eye. So I'd love to hear from your perspective. How's your relationship been with yourself?
How's my relationship been with myself?
Yes.
Constantly growing, learning and unlearning.
Yes.
And I feel like for any kind of relationship, for any kind of thing that you want to set your mind to, if it's learning more about yourself, learning more about someone else, even learning more in life in general,
Yes.
there has to be a certain level of curiosity.
Yes.
So I just get curious about myself. I get curious about myself. Yeah, and I go for it. I explore myself, in my mental health, my emotional health. So loving myself has been a journey, still is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what has been the biggest bit of your discovery about self in the line of learning, what you've learned about yourself that you really hold dear to, and what you've had to unlearn about yourself that you are happy and glad that you let go?
Ooh. Oh, you're really going off the deep end now.
I think that's what the audience deserves, because we go deeper and deeper in conversation.
What has been the biggest thing that I have learned about myself?
Yes.
And unlearned about myself?
Yeah, what you've learned about yourself and you hold dear to, you're happy about, you learned. Then what has been the biggest thing that you've unlearned about yourself and you're really glad you had to let go?
Recently I've been thinking about the things that you profess about yourself.
Yes.
Things that you profess about your character. I'm learning it's good to when you're telling those things to yourself. But it's so much nicer when someone comes with a testimony about you.
Yes.
They have something to say about you, about your character, that actually opens your eyes to a part of you that you've never really, because it's just been new.
Yeah.
You've never really thought about it like it was such a big deal. Sometime last year, a friend of mine told me, last year and sometime this year, a friend of mine told me, you're very intentional and you're very intense. I was like, hey. That was interesting, like, to hear from someone else. And when you look within, you're like, yeah, I get how I'm like that. That's something I love about myself. And of course, it's not for everyone.
Yes.
But just being that for myself, and having people in my space who appreciate who I am for who I am, it's just very fulfilling. Something I have unlearned.
Yes.
Something I have unlearned recently, still unlearning. I am unlearning how to stay in my shell. Now I'm learning how to get out of my shell. Expand a little bit more.
Yes.
Expand my mind a bit more. Be more curious and not limit my curiosity.
Yes.
Be intentionally curious about things, about people. For me, usually it's about people. There's something about me that inclines me to want to know about people. I just want to know about people. Usually it's not everyone. There's just a certain type of energy that you feel like, person seems interesting. I'd like to know more about that person. And somehow, sometimes I'm like, it's just a thought in my head.
Yes.
But actually getting to do it, it's so fulfilling. It's honestly so fulfilling. I love meeting strangers, but I like that now I'm getting to actually get to know people. And as well, get to know the people around me. The people are always changing. You'll hear me talking about people a lot in this conversation because I feel like my life is about people. Yes.
And we are really, I would say we are really grateful to be a part of your journey, me and the viewers at home, because they're going to be enjoying this conversation with me. And one thing you've talked about is intensity. You're very intense. And being a person who has experienced that firsthand, I would love to know where that burning, I would just call it burning love, a trailblazing love, I would say, where it comes from. Is it that you have love for you in excess that you just project to the outside world? Or were you loved properly by your parents to the point of now that is the only light you can shine to the world? Because in any space that you're in, the love is eminent. It always shows in the smallest things, in the biggest things. So I don't know where it springs from and how you're able to, take care of it, right? Because in this day and age, you find people are very selfish and I would say self-centered. And sustaining a love that is pure and burning could be a bit of a challenge. So how do you navigate that?
First, where it comes from, I can't put a finger on it. I feel like it's just a thing of my personality. Yes. Of course, people have different ways of showing love. People have different ways. And intensity here is not just when it comes to matters love. It just comes from when it comes to matters how you handle life.
Right.
Yeah. When I put my mind to something, I want to put my mind into it, especially now when you are young adults. I don't feel the need to put my mind into something half-heartedly.
Right.
Yeah.
So like intentionality.
Yes. I just want to dive into it and dive into it well. Do it. Be the most curious. Make the most mistakes. That's where the intensity might come from. When it comes to loving people, honestly, usually it's just from doing right by people.
Oh, right.
Do right by people. And I feel like love is a good thing. But the way the world is right now, there is a lot of watered down ideas of love. You might be showing someone common courtesy, being respectful to them, doing right by people. But people will be like, yo, you're really going out of your way. I'm being a human being. I am being a decent human being. That's what I'm being. I feel like that might come easy to me, but it definitely comes hard for other people because people go through challenges. People go through situations where they have people who are not treating them right, and they think that that's how the world is.
Yes.
I've been fortunate enough, honestly, to meet people, to run into people in my life who are good to me, who are good to me. Yes. Also, God is very good to me.
I know. Yes. We can see it. We can actually see it, and we experience it firsthand.
Yeah. I don't have any I don't have any part of me that wants to be any less than that. Yes. In any case, I want to show more love to the world.
Yeah. So it's something that comes off very naturally and easy to you?
Mostly not. But it's just when you know better, you do better. Yes. I know that it will make someone's day for me to be kind to them.
Right.
It will make someone's day for me to be decent.
Yes.
To treat them with courtesy.
Yes.
And it's not just for them even. There's a certain satisfaction that you feel.
Yeah.
There's a certain contentment that comes with giving love to people when it's undeserved. Yes.
You've mentioned about being open to actually, making as many mistakes as you can, and learning the most out of the mistakes that you make. What has the process been of you forgiving yourself and learning to forgive yourself?
See, interesting. We were just talking about this yesterday. The kind of expectations that people have throughout society from when we are little, especially because we have an African background. There's a certain, you are not allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes are a bad thing.
Yes.
And it's the tools. We lack the tools to make the right mistakes sometimes.
No, that's
because,
really interesting.
Yeah.
We lack the tools to make the right mistakes. Okay.
Where did I come from?
It's so natural and to the point, so I know they will get it.
In the sense that sometimes when it's really nailed down on you to always do the right thing.
Yeah, perfection.
And then you get out of your shell, you get out of spaces where nobody is really nailing anything down on you. People turn rebellious.
Yes.
But then I think that's where there needs to be kind of a switch, and I don't know exactly how that can be done.
Wow.
But the switch from like being rebellious to making good mistakes.
Yes.
Making good mistakes in the sense that one, you are human. Of course you're going to make mistakes. But in what spaces are you going to make mistakes? What choices are you going to make after making the mistake? The kind of person that you become after making the mistake, the lessons that you learn, and how it shapes you. I don't think I have ever been like the rebellious kid, and I don't know exactly how that is like. But making good mistakes, especially in the spaces where you're intentional about.
Yes.
Same way, even when you get a new job and you're trying to learn a new skill, you're trying to learn how the organization works, how the team works and everything.
Yes.
You keep making mistakes. There's a movie that is coming to my mind. It's actually a series, The Recruit. This guy is making mistakes left, right, and center. But you can see that in every instance, he's learning from his mistakes, and he does not beat himself down for his mistakes. And he knows the mistakes that he can play to his strength.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Now, that comes from when you really start leaning into yourself and it starts becoming about everyone else. When you lean into yourself, you will bring value to other people. When you pour into yourself, you bring value. Like, what you feed is what you kind of, I don't know, how do you explain that? And I don't want to say garbage in, garbage out, like the opposite of garbage in, garbage out. You know, like same thing. You water yourself, you bloom flowers.
What you consume is what you produce.
Thank you. Yes.
Now, we'd love to understand, like, have you always been secure with yourself, or is there something that brought you to that point where you felt, now a girl is comfortable in her own skin, you know, because being vilified for mistakes you should be learning from takes from you. Not being loved enough takes from you. Maybe if one parent is absent or is not showing the right kind of effort towards you, or not applauding you, or not showing you the right kind of way, it may lead somebody away, astray. So what is this point that you felt secure in your own skin, or secure with yourself, or has it always been there? And if it has been a learning curve, how has it been?
Definitely a learning curve. 100% learning curve.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's anyone who is totally born 100% secure.
Okay.
And I don't think there's a perfect way of being. You get. I've mostly been. I'm more anxious than you would think.
You look very composed. You always look very composed, you know?
Yeah. You can always transition into being a more secure version of yourself. It's always a journey.
Yes.
But I honestly have been very anxious a lot of my life. Still something that I am working on. I'm not 100% there. I wouldn't say I'm 100% there. And I wouldn't want to be 100. Okay, not now. But like eventually I want to be like, I feel very secure. But like right now, I'm glad that I'm not.
Right.
For
Why?
some reason. Because I have, I know that, then I get to know that I have still work to do on myself, and that excites me. It excites me to observe myself in spaces with other people. And when I look back in retrospect, I'm like, okay, what was that there? How did I speak there?
Yeah.
Why did I say that like that? How did I treat that person like that? It's always a good thing to kind of go back into yourself and be like, yeah, I know there are parts of me that I am still working on, but the part and that I feel like that place is kind of like the most important place.
Yes.
When you get to realize that you're not perfect, but you're not oblivious to it. You know it, and you know the things that you want to work on, and you actively work on them. And the things about you, because I always say no man is an island.
Yes, yes.
Our lives are about people. Our lives are going to have people in them. The quickest way to learn how you're relating with people is by relating with people.
Yes, that's true.
When you make mistakes with people and you learn people and you learn how they operate, then you can adjust yourself. You can learn your mistakes. You can strengthen your strengths as well. You can pinpoint when people need more love, when people need more space, when people need to be calm, when people need to be vibrant and active. Like you are able to flow with life and people, because our lives are about people.
Journeys are different, and I really, celebrate that you are or have been on a journey. Still are you discovering bits of yourself, and there's somebody maybe at home who wants to start, has already started, and is in a transient point in your lives where maybe previously they did not love themselves enough, or they possessed maybe something like self-hate. Now they're learning to love bits of themselves. The people who have advanced and have actually been able to love bits of themselves, what would be your what would you tell them?
I would say you are right where you're supposed to be. You can start right where you're supposed to be. There is no rule book. There is no manual for something like self-love.
Yes.
There's no manual. So start right where you are. Do the things that you love more.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, push yourself beyond your comfort zone.
Yes.
I know it's almost counterproductive telling you to put yourself in a place where you might make mistakes, but that when you make mistakes and you learn from them and then you keep becoming better, like that's where the confidence in yourself will come in. I would also say spend more time with yourself.
Solitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and spend more time with yourself. For me, I like my silence quite a lot. I like being in my space quite a lot. Only on few occasions do I like put myself out there. I need a lot of time to recharge before I get back into social spaces.
Okay.
Yeah. When you spend a lot of time with yourself, you get more comfortable with being with yourself.
Yes.
You get more comfortable with being in your own skin, loving what you love, and not expecting everyone to love it the way you do. And also realizing that everybody has the right to love what they love about themselves, and you do too. Just lean into it. Don't shy away from it. You are what you have for the rest of your life. And for those of us who are believers, you have God and you have you. Lean more into, if you're a believer, lean more when you understand how much you have been loved. I don't think you would want to hate yourself.
Right.
I don't think you would want to hate someone who was died for. Like you are to die for. Quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. Someone was nailed on the cross for you. And like when you understand that kind of love and how it was not just an act. God was not doing things for show.
That's true.
You know? It was not for show. It was not for show. So really lean into that. Really lean into that. When you lean into that, you get more comfortable with yourself and you get in a space where you're even more comfortable to give grace to other people as you give grace to yourself. Yes.
Writing. We've been privileged enough to work on some pieces together, and there are pieces that will transcend time. They'll transcend time, and I'd love to know from you, what is your creative process like, and is writing a form of escape to you, or it's just, a form of just expression, and you write from a point of love or from a point of heart?
Oh. Writing for me started with journaling. The fact that I like being in my space a lot gives me, there's a lot that can go in your head. Like your mind can be running a million miles a second.
Right.
Even when you're alone. And a nice way of kind of compartmentalizing your thoughts or putting your thoughts in order is writing about it.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't know what you're writing. Like you don't know the direction it's going to take.
Right.
Really. Because you're just writing from your mind. Writing from your heart. For me, it started with journaling. I wouldn't say like I just, even right now, most of my pieces, they are very personal. They are very, very personal. For anyone who has been in very close contact with me, they'll know, okay, yeah, in the illustrator. Go and last week.
So it happens in real time.
Yes. And I like it like that. I like
because they are real stories.
Yes, and a lot of times for me it's spontaneous.
Yes.
And writing is not about having the right words. It's never about having the right words. Words you will learn. You will learn as you go, but it's just about self-expression. Put words to paper, like put your thoughts on paper, or if you have like a notepad on your phone or something. That's all it is. And there's something about writing for me that just offloads things and makes me put some things in perspective. Sometimes when you're writing and then you go back to read that piece and you're like, yo, that's exactly how I feel about that. Like,
it's very honest and
yes,
candid.
It allows you to be honest with yourself.
Right.
I feel like that is just a point of liberation. When you're writing for yourself, it's just different. And then when you're writing for yourself, when you offload those things off of yourself, they are you start building blocks of the kind of person that you are.
Yes.
And then now you're able to get out of yourself and write about things that are not about yourself, things that are about your perception about other things in the world. It kind of frees you to do things like that. So journaling still is that the thing for me.
To date.
To date. And I can't say this is where I started writing. This is the point where I started writing. I just felt like I've not always been the most social person. My social circles have always been very tight. And sometimes you have emotions, you have feelings, but you don't even know how to tell someone in a way that they will receive it. Because you can just tell someone things and then they're like, that's what I do.
which is a response you use quite a lot.
But from where you're seated, it's something that is weighing in your heart, and you would want it to be received with grace. The first thing you would do is for you to give yourself that grace in the first place.
Right.
Put it down.
As within, as without.
Receive it.
Yes.
Receive what you've written. Be proud of the fact that you're able to articulate what is in your heart.
Perfect. Perfecto.
Then you can go from there.
Now, you've looked inside yourself and you've been able to see your strengths. You've been able to see your weaknesses. You're amplifying your strengths while, downplaying or you're working on your weaknesses. How's that journey been like, and what would you say is your most valued strength as a person?
I keep thinking, and I think I need to write about it.
Yes. But you can create on live camera.
I keep thinking about this time that friend of mine told me that I am very intentional and intense.
Intense, yeah.
I think that's the thing I love the most about me. What was the other part of the question?
What is that? It's the strength that you really hold dear to, like, I can really do that. Do it and do it well.
Definitely that. Being intentionally intense. It's definitely not for everyone. And yes. I wouldn't say there's no perfect way of being. There's no perfect way of making mistakes, because some mistakes you make, some mistakes people make, and other people become collateral damage.
Wow. Just understood that statement, yeah.
But there's no perfect way of being. Even when people talk about even things like attachment styles and things like that, of course being secure is good.
Yes.
But what to do if you're anxious? what to do if you're an avoidant, what to do, then what, you know, like I won't wish on a genie and be secure tomorrow. Yeah. So what to do? How do I play? How do I also use that as my strength? Because sometimes I feel like we live through life just avoiding making mistakes. That's not a way to live life.
Chasing perfection.
Yeah. Honestly, that's not a way to live life. I feel like you learn more from your mistakes than from winning all the time. Like you learn a lot more from making mistakes and growing from it as well. There's that part.
Right.
You have to make mistakes and learn from it and keep going. And I feel like there are some things that are considered not very nice that can actually be a strength, that you can actually play into a strength. Like, if you can remember, most people I feel like had a similar experience to me when you were little in school. There's always this thing like you don't want to get questions wrong. But then there is always that kid who's always asking questions. And the teacher's like, wacha kuuliza maswali. Mbona unashinda ukiuliza maswali?
Ni kweli.
But that, in as much as some people will see it as a weakness, it's a big strength.
Yes.
That curiosity. That not being afraid of looking stupid. Because there is a lot of times in your life that you will look stupid, but you have to lean into it. You have to lean into the learning process. Don't be afraid to look stupid.
You've heard it for yourself. Don't be afraid to look stupid. And now that begs the question. You run a podcast of your own, and you're now officially being invited to other podcasts. We'd love to understand where did the concept of tribes and ties come from, and does this play directly to the person you are? Does this play directly to the strengths you bear? And what are you doing, and what do you hope to achieve with the platform?
The journey to tribe and ties for me was it was not like a thing that I had premeditated on for years. It was not that kind of thing. For me, it started with this. So I've been writing for quite a few years.
Yes.
And then about 4 years ago-ish, I decided to start posting my pieces on my WhatsApp status every day of the month of February.
So for the whole month.
For the whole month, every day of the month. Anyone who is privileged to have my personal contacts
gets to experience that.
Go to read a lot of pieces that I have written over the years. So that went on, and then sometime last year, I was like, I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've only been doing it on WhatsApp because, again, I feel like too many people make me anxious.
Okay. And that is also on the social media space.
Yes. That's why I had never really posted those pieces on my Instagram or anything. And last year I was like, let me post these pieces on Instagram. Yeah. Was it last year or 2022? When did I start posting on Instagram? Last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I was like, so what? And then what? I think I got to the place and I was like, and then what? Like, this can't be it.
Yes. Just posting is not it.
Yes. And then, I don't know, I had this idea of like, I love people and I love love. And I love to hear people tell stories
their
of
own
love.
stories.
Yeah. And also, we live right now in an era where there are so many people, so many people all over the internet telling you how you're supposed to do things, what you're, if she tells you this, do this. If he does this,
A certain,
do this.
a certain kind of script.
No, that somehow, okay, there's some very good advice out there, 100%.
The sound advice, yes.
Yes, there's some very good advice out there. And actually, some very practical advice as well. But I want to see people who are actually doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And this, there has always, not always, but I feel like right now we just live in an era where there's just this tension with the two sexes,
Yes.
males and females. There's just this, I don't understand it. Because, like, I don't like it.
Yes.
Quite honestly, I don't like it. I don't like to sit in spaces where I'm being told how a man is inferior, or how a woman is superior, or how... because I feel like, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, if you are not working together as a team, then you're getting everything wrong from then onwards. From then onwards. My idea of relationships is to be partners in life.
In life, okay.
You have to be a team.
For it to work.
And it doesn't mean that there is no friction in teams.
Yes.
There is.
A lot of friction.
Yes. But also with the friction comes in the intentional moments of, like, kindness, intentional moments of love, intentional moments of, like, I feel like I know who you are.
Yes.
And I know what you need, and I'm going to give you what you need.
And I'm also secure in your energy, your being, the way you handle things.
Yes. So I wanted to create a space where people can have candid and real conversations about their relationship, the relationship that you are in. And I didn't want to limit that to romantic relationships.
Yes.
I don't limit that to just people who are dating or people who are married or engaged. I want to have the whole spectrum.
Yes.
I want to have people who are dating, people who are married, people who are engaged, people who just met. I would love to see people who are getting hooked up by their friends. Like you look like you would be good for this person. Let's get you together.
It's pimping.
No, it's not pimping.
Yeah.
It's not pimping because I love. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I get the opportunity to talk about this. I love this guy. He's called Paul Branson. Oh my Lord, he is always so on point. I love the way he started as a matchmaker.
Yes.
He's been doing matchmaking for years and years. And when he started matchmaking, there weren't dating apps. So you literally match people.
Okay. So
he would get someone like, this person comes to him and they say, I want to get into a relationship, what not. He would put that person aside. Give me a second.
Chilled up.
Show me your friends and your family.
Yes.
Let's talk to them. Let me get their opinion of who they think would be right for you and that kind of thing.
Okay.
I feel like that is so impactful when it comes to relationships, because the people who are closest to you know you quite well. They know you quite well. And they might not know all of you, the whole essence of you, but when you combine your mom and your best friend and your brother, and they all know certain parts of you, like when they combine all that together, they can get you an amazing partner. So I would love to have something like that, like people who are getting hooked up by their friends or family or something. Mostly friends. I don't know about family. Maybe I have some sort of feeling about that. I need to introspect. But
okay.
But yeah, people who are just getting together and let's see how the relationship is. And I also do want to follow up. So that's romantic. I also would want to feature siblings and best friends and you know what? Exes. Yes, I would love to feature people who are like that. So yeah, like all kinds of relationships, the whole deal. Parents with their kids, and it's always a one-on-one. Yes. So let's explore a few things together. Let's get deeper about each other because this small talk can be exhausting. We can't always be talking about the weather. Yes, let's talk about how our relationship is going, how it's been.
Sustainability over a long time.
What you have been to me, what I have been to you. Some things you need to hear that you've never heard. Some things you need to hear that you never thought you needed to hear. Even like you will even get an opportunity to give someone their flowers while they're still here. So yeah, just open, candid relationships with your tribe and the people you're tied to.
So tribe and ties. If you as an individual, your parents came to you with the proposal of, we found someone who we think would be good for you because they actually know you, right? And maybe not fully, they may know who may be a good person for you. Would you accept?
Grain of salt. Bucket of salt. Okay, not bucket. My parents would definitely choose a good match. Of course, they wouldn't put me in harm's way. It would be difficult, but actually, when Paul Branson was talking about this, I've listened to a lot of Paul Branson. Man, I really love that guy. I would love to feature with him somewhere or work with him. Honestly, definitely work with him. 100% work with him. Yes. Right. He was talking about arranged marriages and how a lot of them are very, very successful.
I've seen it. I've been to a wedding of an arranged marriage, and hopefully, I don't know how it'll go or how it's going, but I really hope that that they find their place in the relationship, accept it, and sustain it over the long haul.
Yeah, arranged marriages are quite interesting. Najua nimetulia lakini saa zingine inakuwa kichwa ngumu. But if it's my parents speaking, I would definitely be curious.
You'd love to find out.
I would say I would be definitely curious. Actually, okay. Now the mistake you would make is forcing me into a situation, but allow me to be curious. Allow me to have my own journey with it. Then, but that's definitely something I would be curious about, because this is a very interesting question you brought up. Sometime last year, I was having this conversation with my parents and my sister and her husband, because now I'm the only single person in our family.
Wow.
Yeah, like currently I'm the only single person in our family. I'm always that willing, either my mom and dad or my sister and my husband.
Wow. Okay.
So I was telling them, you guys find me someone mvet mwone kama ni naweza acha kuwa that will. Or I think this is going to in a fifth wheel, kwa sababu wako wawili. I'm the fifth wheel. Wow. And it sparked this whole conversation. If my sister listens to this, she's going to laugh. It was at a time. I think we had this conversation for quite a few hours, and turned into something quite different. But I learned quite a lot about myself through the conversation. So that's definitely something I would be curious about. I'm sure I have expressed enough about like what I would want in a potential partner. So you know what, Mom and Dad, bring it on.
And it's because of course, because of family, because of friends, because of the people who listen to us that we actually get to do this. And we are forever grateful for the support that they actually give us. Maybe not hapo kwa kunitafutia partner, but hear me out. I appreciate the support that we actually getting from them. So your parents and sibling being your support system. Maybe if you could touch on that a bit, because you've told tales about them, and I've actually gotten to see it firsthand, experience it firsthand. You with your family, how you relate, and I love the relationship that you guys have. Right? I love the person who your parents brought you up to be, who your parents brought Brenda to be. Maybe you could tell the world about that kind of support system and why it is important.
Honestly, because for me, I always go back to love starts at home.
Yeah.
Love begins at home. And it's always a journey. And I will keep saying this. There's no perfect way of being.
Yes.
We look up to Jesus. That's the STI. Jesus is the standard. We are not perfect. There's no perfect way of being. I wouldn't give someone a rule book of how to be with your family, because everybody, even in our family, everyone has a different personality than the other. True. So like it's just learning how to live together, how to be together. And I feel like for me, I have been fortunate, very, very fortunate to have parents who are friends.
Yes. Oh, they are friends.
They are friends first.
Yes.
The two of them, they are friends. And then parents.
Oh, friends
like
then friends.
they are friends and then partners and then parents.
Oh, okay.
You get. And I feel like that's a very fortunate experience. Very few people get to experience that. And the way they treat each other, it's just like you can see their friendship in the way they treat each other, the way they are there for each other, the way they show up for each other. And it's not something that our parents have ever like sat us down to tell us. It's always, for us, it's always been monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. Like you see love, you love.
True.
Yes. So that's fortunate. With my sister, another journey. Still a journey.
Right.
And that's just the thing I love about it. And since we're coming from the same page, she has me, I have her. I call her my one and only, or we call each other my one and only.
Interesting.
It's just the two of us. Definitely a journey. We don't have we don't have a huge age difference. So, but the fact that she's older than me means that I always have something to learn from her.
Yes.
Which is refreshing. And now she also, I'm thinking, learns from me as well.
Yes.
Like we pick from each other's lives and things like that. So it's quite nice. I feel like our relationship has definitely grown a lot, especially in the past 8 years.
8 years. Okay.
Yes. Our relationship has grown. We've grown a lot closer in the past 8 years, and it's been quite nice. It's been quite the journey. But once, it's like she gets me, and I get her. Like it's that kind of dynamic right now, like where we're at right now. Honestly, to the point of finishing each other's sentences.
Wow. I don't know applause. That's really good.
Yeah, like it's just quite refreshing, honestly, to have a big sister, to have a sister,
To have a friend.
to have a friend in a sister.
Yes.
How many? Because there are so many people who are related by blood, but they don't like each other that much.
They don't even. Some don't even talk. So they don't like seeing each other. Yes. So I would say it's a proper privilege.
Proper. I am very grateful to have an amazing sister.
Gratitude. How often do you show it? How do you show it? And why do you show it?
Gratitude is something that has to flow from within. If you're not grateful truly in your heart, from within, deeply and honestly grateful, and gratitude, it can come from big things to very small things.
Okay.
And also, it comes from letting go of the need to control any situation. When you let go of the need to control any situation and you do what you're supposed to do, and then just you even have a clear mind to appreciate what is going on while it's going on, and just be grateful for it. So I'd say it's a lot of an inside job. It's an
inside job, yeah. And for the past, 5-6 years, you've been dancing. And
since 2017. That's
2017. 8 years. Almost 8 years.
Damn.
Almost a decade. Almost a decade of dancing. Why dancing? Why do you dance? How does it feel to be on stage and express yourself in that way?
Honestly, it's quite liberating. It's just a place to free my mind. I am never not happy on the dance floor unless my partner is pissing me off, but like I'm never not happy. And that's a very rare occasion for like a dance partner to piss you off, because they have very little room to piss you off. But so and also getting pissed is a choice. I damn. But yeah, dancing 100% a happy place.
Right.
My happy place. I feel quite liberated, very feminine as well.
Oh,
because I get to be a follow. I get to follow someone's lead as a woman, as a follow. So in dancing, I dance specifically salsa, bachata, kizomba, and everything that relates to salsa, bachata, and kizomba. So the semba. Okay, I lean more into kizomba. So semba, compa, urban keys, and all the nice bachatas, nice salsa. It's always partnered up, and I get to be the follower and not the lead. There's also a certain level of, you have to have a certain level of surrender.
Yes.
For someone to lead you.
True.
So that has been a learning curve for me. Yeah.
Does the close contact, does it add to the intensity of you?
I thought you were going with intensity of the dance. But okay, intensity of me.
Yeah, intensity of me.
I wouldn't say it's an expression of the intensity of me.
Right.
I don't know if it adds on to it. It's for someone who is starting off dancing and you just watch people dance. I know, especially for dances like Kizomba and all the dances that have to do it, they are similar to Kizomba. It's very intimate contact.
Yes. I think that's one thing that shunned me away from those dances. I was like, no.
It can be so uncomfortable.
Right.
In the beginning, it can be so uncomfortable, but it also provides an opportunity to have fun and create the boundaries you want to have fun, like around. You get?
Yes.
You have to have boundaries. There's a friend of mine. She always tells me, we are like, so I usually go for social dances. Social dances is you get to dance with quite literally anyone.
Yeah, in the room.
Yes. And when she comes, when you go to socials or something like that, when you're talking about dance, she's like, so you go dance with that person? I'm like, nah. Like, mimi nakata. Kwa sababu, like, there are just certain like boundaries that I've set for myself that I have to watch out for. And I feel like some discomfort. Just
nakata tu.
Thank you.
On to the next.
Just catch another dance with someone else or something. Yeah, but it's quite liberating, and it's honestly that bit of setting boundaries, because you have to set boundaries in person.
Yes.
At the moment, like atungojei kesho nikuambie, no, nakwambia sai. So either that or I just bow it, like, thank you, it's been real, we don't have to do this. Yeah, but my one rule for dance is usually, if you're not having fun, then you're not doing it right. Have fun.
Have fun with the dance.
Have fun on the dance
floor. How else do you take care of yourself? Like, I know dance gets you moving, sweating, and it's always, a happy feeling after, during, and the enthusiasm of just going to experience it. So before is exciting, during is exciting, and after is exciting. How else do you get to take care of Charlene?
Honestly, after socials, apart from dancing, and like dancing is sort of the only place I find myself in large groups of people. Large groups of people here, we are talking about more than 5 people. I rarely ever find myself in such spaces.
Honestly, that's like the number of people I had at my place this last weekend. So
I know.
And that's just one cassetting.
My energy is just close to depleted. This is like we're on the last leg. Yeah, I can't do anymore. But it's been refreshing, of course.
Of course.
And it's with people that I know, so that has been nice. Apart from dance, because that's mostly the place where I find myself social. Honestly, being with myself, journaling, reading a book, listening to a conversation, talking to a friend. I love one-on-ones. That's why I don't do well in groups. I love one-on-ones. It's my friendship with you and my friendship with you, my friendship with her, those one-on-ones. I don't do groups of people. So when I'm with myself or I'm with someone who I love,
mambo ni shwari.
I feel taken care of in my heart and in my mind. That kind of taking care of.
You've mentioned you listen to podcasts, and we've talked about your love for reading books. So what would you recommend for the people to listen to? Of course, starting with Diary of a CEO.
100% Diary of a CEO.
Yes.
Kidding. But I'm realizing now I'm taking every, even podcast and conversations with, like from other people, take it with as much grain of salt as you need. Yeah. Not every conversation is beneficial for you.
Yes.
Not every conversation will feed you. Not every conversation will uplift you. So I think that's why I love Paul Branson and people like Simon Sinek. They always bring like good positive energy into conversations. And of course, I interacted with them first on the River CEO.
Interesting.
So yeah, the River CEO. You know what? Let's check the kind of podcast I listen to. So that when I'm making recommendations,
Let's do that.
you know what I'm doing. I listen to now Paul Branson has his own podcast. It's called We Need to Talk. And then I love the one for us spiritual
babes, girls,
people. Yes. People who love God. I love Pastor Morrison, and it's been a minute since I listened to Tim, but yeah, I love Preston Morrison. I love Megan Ashley. Megan Ashley's podcast in totality. Business and women in business, especially because it's very hard to get like awesome women in business
who well articulated.
Yeah. Not only well articulated, but who have good values. Because that's a distinct thing for me. There are people who play a lot in gray areas, and I don't like that. But there are people who will give you who stand on values that are sustainable over
a long period of time.
Over life.
Okay.
In life in general. So like people like Lila Homozi. I love listening to Lila Homozi when it comes to podcast, and I love how she says, "Fuck your mood, follow the plan."
So don't forget to follow the plan.
Fuck your mood, follow the plan.
And what kind of values do you follow as a person? What kind of values now speak for Charlene, about Charlene, and how do you exercise it on a daily?
Love, respect, honor, integrity, like kindness. Kindness with your actions, with your words. There's this thing that I listened to last week, and it's been ringing in my head. It was a sermon by Pastor Joseph Prince. He was preaching about this part in the Bible where it says, "Do you want to live a long life? Watch your mouth."
Watch your mouth.
Simply just watch your mouth. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Speak life and avoid evil. So, a lot of that. I'm leaning a lot into that.
How do you keep yourself positive? Because, sometimes negativity visits, right? Like we get to doubt ourselves. You may be scrolling on social media and maybe you consume maybe some negative content. Maybe you don't really plan to consume it, but it just shows up on your page. Or sometimes just somebody who's negative or low energy or low vibrations around you. How do you keep your positive energy?
Honestly, by feeding on things that are positive. Yeah, that's what it takes. What you're putting into your system, what you're putting into your mind, what you're putting into your heart. If it's positive, your life is going to be positive. And when it comes to scrolling on Instagram and things like that, I know there is a lot of negativity on Instagram. something that I'm actually liking about AI and bots and all that kind of thing is that it will learn your behavior.
Right.
If it's good
Very
behavior, it's going to give you
good behavior.
good content. If it's bad, it's just going to give you bad content. Like, so I'm realizing, interestingly enough, even because there's now this obsession of, oh, you're watching a reel and it's so funny, or it's kind of impactful, and maybe or maybe the person in the reel was asking for an opinion about something, and you're like, what do people actually think about this thing? And you open comments and you're reading through comments. I'm realizing that even Instagram and things, it will learn the kind of contents that you like. If you're the kind to like watch a nice reel and you're looking for the bad comments, that's what will show up right on top.
Wow.
But if you're looking for the good ones, the impactful ones, that is what will show as well. So I actually love my Instagram algorithm. I love it. I just don't scroll on the search button. There's a search button. I don't scroll on that kind of content. But my reels and the people that I follow and the content that Instagram suggests to me.
Legacy.
I am glad.
It's a word
I'm
that
glad that I'm hooked on such kind of content.
Interchangeably in different conversations. And me and the world would love to understand what legacy or what kind of trail would you love to be associated with as a person?
When I think about legacy, I think about what will be written on your tombstone. I would love for my legacy to be a life where I lived, I loved, I was loved, I was of service, and I kept chasing the will of God for my life.
Right.
Yes.
So, and that cuts directly to your values, which is really amazing.
And I was honest.
You're honest? Okay. Yes. And you're kind.
100%.
So, it's been a gratifying conversation, and hearing about your story from you has been one of the best things that I've had to do for this Monday. And I can't thank you enough for being there for those almost 8 years right now. And when we hit a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades,
should do a check up on this one.
Yes.
Like a follow up on this one.
And it's something that I'm hoping to do. Hoping that the Lord keeps me alive and, healthy and strong, jovial and very energetic. That we get to do a follow-up now to know if you lived, you loved, you're kind, and you ran your own race. So, asante sana for having you on board. And as always, I thank God for you, and I thank God for our tie and the tribe that we're in. So, asante.
Makes it over.
Forever
Thank you
grateful.
for having me.
Asante.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu.
And
Director's cut.